So, well, first, my name is I'm a guest. My name is Kobe. Um, I'm one of Julius's good friends, and he decided to invite me out here. I've seen his work. Um, Actually, we're in my backyard right now. You
Yeah.
know, hurricane is actually about to hit. Well, hopefully, God forbid. But it's really windy out. It's really nice out. So I was like, let's go outside. Yeah, it's a little humid, but nothing a little breeze can't fix.
Feels nice.
Really, really nice. Looks nice as well. It's like a nice gray hue. Anyways, but yeah, our topic today, um, we decided to talk about the future. Um, and not just keeping it broad, what you want to do in the future, how to set yourself up to where you know exactly what you want to do and how you can dedicate yourself to that task. So that's what we decided to talk about today.
And it's really important, I feel, to have that kind of conversation, especially at our age, because I know a lot of people that still don't know what they want for their future. And I know that if you wait to try and figure that out, if you try to wait till like after high school to try and figure out what you want to do, I know that you're gonna end up stuck. You feel me? So it's a really important conversation to have with somebody else so that you can hear a perspective and build off of that and try to build your own you know try to see what you want. So I know for a fact that I personally want a family. I want to have kids. I want to have a wife. I want to be very family oriented. I want to be an English teacher, things like that, right? And I know these things, but I know that if I didn't know these things, then I wouldn't know what college I want to go to. I wouldn't know what to go to college for. You
Yeah.
feel me? And I know that you have like you want,
Yeah. I
and
want to, like you said as well, you give it like a time frame. So let's say you're both seniors in high school, right? So we graduate. Boom. Okay, cool. We graduate. Um, we both go to uni somewhere. I oh, it froze for a second on my mouth. That was weird. Pause. Pause. I plan on going to Howard. That's my dream school. Um, he's in FAMU, as a place you might want to go to, or UCF. Somewhere close to family because he's apparently very family oriented. Um, but yeah, no, I plan on going to college. I plan on graduating with my master's in biomedical engineering. I'm planning having a um, my bachelor's in both uh, chemical engineering and my minor biology. Uh, I will have a bachelor's in biology as well. Then I want to start get my career going. I want to get my career going. I want to, if I have a family by then, which I mean, I will hope not. I don't have a family in college,
mm,
but a significant other, that's one thing. But my plan after college is to establish a life for myself. A steady income, a good home, in a good area, set up a good infrastructure for myself,
right,
and base my life off of that. If I want to have a kid, I have the money to do it. So we have a little nice life. You know what I'm saying? Maybe by the time I'm like 50, you know what I'm saying? Move house a couple times. By the time I'm 50, since 5 million years, we make good money, and it's gonna keep going up. It will keep going up. Um, right now, if I just look really the most that someone has listed out on the market that they've shared publicly, they make $170,000, six figures. So that's annually, and that's what someone has shared publicly as well.
right.
So you gotta think about that. So yeah,
I mean, shoot, the way I want to have a kid. I want to have my first kid, um, maybe like my mid 20s, because I feel like that's when I'm gonna have everything figured out. I know for a fact that with my kids, with my wife, I don't want to have um I don't want to deal with the same things that my parents had dealt with me and my kids. And so when I do get married and I find a wife, I want to make sure that I find somebody that be willing to fight through stuff and not be so quick to get divorced, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because then if I have a kid with that person, then that kid is going to have, he's going to feel conflicted. And, or he or she is going to feel conflicted. And I know that's how I was, and I don't want that for my kids. I understand how tiring that could be, right? So when I get married, I want to make sure that I know for a fact that I want to marry this person. I don't want to marry this person for the financial benefits, or I don't want to marry this person just because we had a kid together and now we're forced to live with each other. But I want that. I want to marry somebody because I know for a fact that I can finish off my life with them, and I feel in my heart that they feel the same way, right? And once I get that first kid settled, and I feel like, maybe like 3 years, 3 years old, try for another one. So I feel like that's good timing.
Yeah.
I want to have around 3 kids. Any combination, brother, brother, sister, 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 brother, brother, sister, brother. Anyway, triplets. I don't mind it. I do want 3. I don't want to live in Florida. I want to live in like the northern side, like Colorado.
I'm gonna disagree with you on that.
Why?
Triplets.
Triplet?
No, having 3 kids is one thing, but triplets is like you are having 3 kids in the time span of a day.
Oh yeah, wait. I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that.
Maybe not a day, but you're basically having them like the same week.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
it is a lot. But at the same time, like, I know that I don't want to have a kid that's too old and then another one that's around that same age, and then I have one later down the line,
Oh no, yeah.
the young one, because then it's just gonna be them two.
Happened with me. It happened to
Yeah.
your older brother as well.
Right. So I want to make sure that they all have somebody. Like the reason why I want 3 kids though is because like if one goes off to a sleepover,
Mhm.
then he still has 2.
Mm-hmm.
Or if they both go off to a sleepover, then like they have me, and then they know that that at least one of them's coming back.
Right.
And I just feel like it helps them socially. Like they're not too enclosed because they know that they know how to talk to more than one person.
Right.
There's more than one personality. So I mean that's why I want 3 kids. And I'm not too sure when I want to get married, but I definitely want to be like done with school. And if school don't work out, I'm gonna join the military.
Facts.
Yeah.
You're in the forest, bruh. Which one? Marines.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking the Marines. I don't know why. Actually, no, I do know why. No, Mr. Garner. Because he was in the Marines, he had like he had people coming in and like tell us about the Marine Corps and stuff like that, trying to get us to sign up. And a lot of stuff that they were advertising seemed like stuff that I would be interested in. Like you don't have to be on the field. You could be you could be on a football team. You could be a musician. You could be a photographer. You could do whatever you want. I'm sure that that's how it is in every single one of the branches. But I know for a fact that that's how it is in the Marine Corps, and that's what I know. So I figured, do what I'm comfortable with, what I'm familiar with.
You could be a wellness coach.
What?
Wellness coach.
In the Marines? I know that.
Well, it's like a mental health coach. They're trying to implement that now.
That makes sense actually.
So-
PTSD and stuff.
Yeah. Or you just work with veterans in general. You can work with Marines who
Mhm.
are veterans.
Yeah.
Or veterans who were Marines
Mm-hmm.
and do stuff like that. Work with them and make sure their life in order.
Right.
Finances are in order. They have a lot together. Anyways, it's not like a usual really Julius video. It's just kind of like a yap sesh. I don't like saying that word yap. No, I feel like it's very it's very backhanded. And it's very ignorant. But
Why is that?
because usually someone says, "Oh, you're yapping." If the person who they yapping was talking about, how do you think that makes them feel? what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're literally you're them face. I don't care about what you're saying. It's going in one ear and out the other. That's literally what it means.
Now that you say that, I feel like, or as of recently, I've been talking to people that I'm able to talk about my passions with. Like, I really love music and I really love literature, right?
Yeah.
And I'll be talking with somebody and they ask me questions about music, and I'll be like, I'll just be going off. Like, I'll be back to back with sentences and information, and at some point in time, I feel like I'm talking too much. I feel like I'm yapping, and because I've been told multiple times when I did try to talk about that with people, they'd be like, "Oh, bro, you yap too much."
Yeah.
I'm like, it's gotten to the point where I say that to myself.
Accept that you like. It's become the norm for you.
Influence.
Influence. Yeah. So, but no, it's not yet. It's something that you're passionate about, that you like talking about. It's a passion.
Hmm.
It's literally a passion. You know what I'm saying? Yapping is not talking about a passion, right? You know, yapping. The yapping is not a thing. You know, every time you open your mouth, you're supposed to have a purpose in what you say.
Oh yeah.
So there's nothing to yap about, essentially. So I think that word should just be erased from our minds in general. I'm not even trying to be like stoic and be like, oh, I don't say the word yep. Yeah, I do say yep. And obviously, I say this now. It's because I recognize, like, dang, that's kind of mean.
Hmm.
And yeah, but to protect myself, I never say yeah. It's if I can easily recognize someone's talking about something important to them, and I will never say, oh, you're yapping. No. But if they are quietly talking about something like irrelevant or just not important, something fodder, something that's like rude or you know not beneficial in any way, shape, or form, I might say they're yapping. Still, I shouldn't be using that word. I should be like, hey, I think we could use our time better, bro. I don't know why you're talking about this.
How is this benefiting both of us?
But that kind of makes me feel like a Jaden Smith.
Yeah.
Hey, what you think about the economical political state of the world right now?
Yeah.
Like that's what it makes me feel like.
I mean, shoot. Actually, that I feel like was it wasn't shown in the right light when Jaden Smith said that. Cause I see where he was coming from when he said that. Like people, they saw that and they were like, what is this kid talking about? He's too young to be thinking about the economical state of the world. He don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
He just wants to seem smart. But I mean, it's never a bad time to talk about what's going on in the world, whether it be right or what's wrong with the world. It's never a bad time to talk about what's going on with the world. I mean, there's always something happening. So there should never be a nonsensical conversation. You feel me?
Correct.
You guys can always build from each other. There's always a moment to build and apply yourself. And find something to help you apply yourself.
Yeah.
So I mean, I feel like there was meaning to what he said, and I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong for that, but I think about it.
Hey, I think about it sometimes as well. That's why I brought it. That's why I brought it up. It keeps killing me every time, bro. But no, seriously. I mean, then again, it's just tiring as well. But it's not. This video's not even about the future anymore. I think we're gonna name this video like brain one. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll think
I
about
don't know, something about it. Whatever. Um, I mean, it's also cool to watch it back and see where your mind wanders. Like what
it.
trigger
Yeah.
words. What
I've seen. You know how my dad's a therapist, right?
for kids
For
with the spectrum.
yeah. I forget what that's called. OT. He's an OT, but I forget what the O stands for. Occupational. He's an occupational therapist. And back when I had therapy, he gave me like this tactic, I guess you could call it, where like you just write down whatever comes to your mind, and then later on you go back and you read and see where your mind goes. That can help you find like the root to a lot of problems.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you have a problem on your mind, you write down whatever thought comes to your mind while thinking about it. You go back and you reread it, and you're like, oh, so this stemmed from that. So now I know how to end this problem, I guess. Solve it. So yeah. So I guess this is our journey in a way.
I'll journal. I feel like Edna. I feel like Edna, bro.
Edna mode.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna walk on like, I'm gonna walk like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But nah, yeah.
Hey,
Thanks. It's been freezing.
freezing.
Yeah. That was my. Anyway, but no, yeah, just like kind of like a dump type scenario, and yeah, I mean to talk about like all things. What's something important or trigger words? Trigger words. How I think like we have like triggers for certain types of things. Like some I don't know, and that could just be like emotional as well. If someone says something, it could be a past experience type thing, where like say someone says dog, and you're like dog, oh my god, no, oh my dog died 2 days ago, type thing. Like
Yeah.
not only like that, you know, because that's like a given. Well, something that stimulates your mind to think from a certain perspective, like that.
Everything's a web.
You know, everything's to everything.
Yeah.
So like just how we were just talking about the Marines and how you went to Mr. Garner
Mm-hmm.
and how everything was occupational and how you know you could be anything and stuff like that.
Connects.
Everything connects to what you would know literally. So everything can be a trigger word, but it's all about like how you maneuver through your own mind
Mm-hmm.
is what matters. But at the same time, that's always difficult because you never know what you're really gonna think of next.
Mm-hmm.
I can never tell myself I'm gonna think about this in the next 5 seconds. I just thought about the sky. Like I didn't know I was gonna think about that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you don't know. So
And that kind of like it kind of falls into the I guess it's the theory, I guess you could say, of you become what was it? You become what you behold, something like that. Where like your surrounding impacts what you take in impacts who you are. Obviously, you are what you feed yourself with, right? So if you're surrounded by a bunch of people, or let's say there's a new TikTok word, right? And you hear everybody else saying you think it's a stupid word and there's no meaning to it. In a couple months you're gonna be saying that word because you hear everybody else saying that word.
yo, happened to me too, bro.
Yeah, I know it did.
I forgot what it was. Dang.
I started saying junk because I was surrounded by people saying junk.
I said John.
You said John.
I started saying fun
Oh
because
yeah.
our friend group we got a big friend group and they would say every time we would like go have like a planned event where all of us are supposed to hang out, they would call it a funk.
Now you say funk.
And I'll be saying funk. I told someone else funk. Be like, hey bro, when's the next funk? He's like, I ain't never heard that in my life. I was like, see bro, that's what I'm talking about, bro. Yeah, I gotta be different though. Gotta be different.
Gotta be
So
different.
I can't say too much.
But that's like the way that you grow up impacts who you are. Your past is always going to affect your future. Your past is always going to affect your future, so it's always very important to focus on now. Because if you focus on the past, what was that?
That was the AC cutting off.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
It's drizzling a little bit, guys. It's drizzling a little bit now.
Yeah, it's nice. Anyways, what's that? Oh yeah. So
Rain. Sorry, I just want to bring up Florida niggas smell rain, bro. You can smell
before it
the rain
happens,
before it happens. I just wasn't paying attention. But if you pay attention and you're like, when's it gonna rain? And you live, you're like,
oh yeah.
you can smell the moisture
You
in
got
the
like
air.
5 minutes.
Got like 5 minutes before it starts to pour a little bit.
Come inside. Come inside.
Yeah. I mean, the wind helps too. You know, I guess the gray skies help too, but whatever,
Yeah.
that's whatever.
But sometimes, I mean, shoot, we live in Florida. It could rain in the bluest day ever.
Like the wind just calmed down literally.
Where the heck?
It was going like 20 miles an hour and it just stopped.
Bipolar. Well,
Like, bro, what, bro? Anyways, what were you saying?
I forgot. What was his name? Oh, right.
Can't see that. Wait.
It's the pumpkin spice Oreos.
Spice Oreos, limited edition, people.
But yeah, like your past is always going to affect your future, and Let's go back to the job or your future conversation, right? Like, I want to be an English teacher. That's my future, and I want to be an English teacher because of the influence that my past English teacher had on me, right? So that's my past affecting my future. But how am I gonna get there? Is that's focusing on now. Like, I gotta do this in order to get there. But I know that if I think too much about the future, then I'm gonna be too stuck on that. Like, oh, I don't know how it's gonna happen, but it's gonna happen because it's like that's the future, right? Makes sense. I don't know if I explained that right, but
You did. I think also helps is if you act a lot on your emotions. Let me help you with that. My dog's trying to get inside right now. Oh, look at that forehead. Ugh. If you act a lot on emotions, there's a saying that I heard a while back. It was basically saying that depression is living in the past.
yeah,
Anxiety is living in the future. And I'm not gonna lie, I forgot the rest.
you can build a lot off of that right
I
there.
don't know why I forgot it. But no, that's good.
Good.
Those two parts were true. Or
Yeah.
depression is living in the past, anxiety is living in the future,
hmm
and something's living in the present. I'll say that I guess you can interchange it, depending on the person. Because again, it's all the same. Depression is living in the past. You are living in the past if you're depressed. Now I'm not saying you being depressed means nothing. I'm not saying that at all. But it's literally you living in the past. Um and making and letting that affect how you live now. Obviously it's not easy. I've never been depressed. I don't know how it feels. I can't even say I've been close to because depression is different from everyone.
Yeah.
And you don't know until you are. You don't know until someone literally points it out and starts laying things out. You're like, the clearest sign if you are depressed is to look at your past habits and see how they change drastically. You don't eat as much or you eat more. Usually it comes with like eating habits, sleeping habits, the way you speak, the way you interact with people. Those are like the four signs. And if those habits drastically change, something is going on. Anyways,
No, that's good. That's good. That's good. I feel like coming from somebody who was once upon a time depressed, that was a really good way to put it for someone who wasn't, who hasn't dealt with depression. For me, when I was going through that time, looking back at it, a lot of my thoughts or my habits were coming from like, oh, this happened to me, so this is gonna happen, and then I'm thinking about like, oh, geez, oh man, oh, what was me? You feel me? But like the moment that I realized that I should start living in the now and start focusing on me and who I am right now, that's when those habits broke off of me. That's when those chains broke off of me, and I was able to finally be who I was meant to be. And maybe I'm not where I'm supposed to be yet, but I know that the person that I am today is the person that I'm meant to be.
Anyway, camera just died, guys. So anyway, as he was saying, you said before, camera cut out that the person the person he's supposed to be now is the person he is today. And I know to at first I thought like processing, it might seem like dang, he just said the same thing. But if you think about it, if you split it up, who is the person that you are now? The experiences that you've experienced, right? The experiences that you've experienced, the things that you've gone through, the things you've said, everything that has happened throughout your life has built you up to the person you are now. Now, if you keep that separate and you focus on the person you are today, today is a new day, separate from the past, separate from the future. It is today, right? You can become a whole new person today. But the important part is you have to bring and you have to let those experiences mold you into the person you are supposed to be today. And that's how they kind of interlock and connect, if you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, so like every bad thing that has ever happened to you, that's something that's really important to remember. Every bad thing that has ever happened to you has built you to be the person that you are today. And that's why it's so important to like move on from those things, because you can't. The more that you stay stuck on those things, the more that you're going to let it impact you negatively. But if you look back at those moments and you learn from those moments, that's why it's important to remember those things and learn from it. Um, if you do that, then you grow, right? And I feel like I lost my thought or train of thought for a second there, but I feel like at the same time, you get what I'm trying to say. The person that you are today wouldn't have been here if it wasn't for the situation that you have been put through. You'll be put through tests, trials, tribulations all the time throughout your entire life. They're always going to be there. But the more that you remember that at the end of the day, you're going to become better from this. But as long as you remember that, you're going to be better off. That straight road analogy. That road there is a straight path for you, but there's gonna be potholes. There's always gonna be potholes. It's your choice to go around those potholes and not turn around. Just because you see a little issue like that, a little pothole that you could just drive around, you can't let that small little issue be the reason why you stop doing what you're doing.
And to expand on that, potholes get filled. You know, so when you go around that pothole, you know, when you continue to follow the road that is right in front of you, as soon as you pass that power road, when you come back to it, whether you take the same route again, as soon as you come back to it, that pothole is going to be filled.
Right.
And if it's not, eventually it will be. That's good. Right? Eventually it will be. So meaning you have that prior knowledge to easily, persevere and traverse through whatever you're going through. You know what I'm saying? You can just go straight. You don't have to worry about it because you've already gone through it. It's already done. It's already done and done.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Dang, hold on.
Cooking.
That was good. That was good. And like, things will get filled up. That same issue will get, fixed, right? And I remember in one of my other videos, I had said that there's going to be a void. A lot of people, they get filled with this void after something that was very important to them leaves, right? Like, let's say you break up with the love of your life, then you have that void. A lot of times, people try to take something and they try to fill up that void. But let's say it's like a puzzle piece. It's like a puzzle piece. You try to find a piece and you try to shove it into that spot, but it wasn't meant to be in that spot, so it's never gonna fit. But you try to force it, and now you're forcing it, and it's breaking you because now it's like it's not supposed to be there, right? So that's where addictions come from. That's the video it came from. The addictions video. The more that you try to fill up that void or numb that void that was once there, the more it's going to hurt you because that void wasn't supposed to be filled with that wrong thing. So as long as you fix whatever it was that made that void, like you and your ex broke up, if you address that problem that y'all went through, you guys don't have to get back together. But if you guys agree to forgive each other and move on with your lives, that void won't be there. Because you won't have that feeling of, oh, I should have did this, oh, I should have did that. So the potholes will always get filled up, and it's always going to be easier for you to traverse through it. And I'm so glad you made that point.
And I think Anthony, what he was talking about there. I think, oh yeah, I remember what I was gonna talk about. Literally, I hate when people talk about, because I'm thinking about what we're talking about now, and I'm like letting the public and what the public will think of the video get into my head, and I'm like, hold on. I hear a lot of people who are always like, man, I hate it when guys just start getting into psychology and sociology. And then all they talk about is nihilism and stoicism and et cetera, et cetera. And then I'm like, I don't know what you were you guys once not this way? Like, did you not want to like share what you learned with people? Did you not? Were you not interested in what you're talking about? Did you not want to express it? You know what I'm saying? I don't see now if guys are being, you know, weird about it, belittling because that's what a lot of they're talking about that a lot. How like guys bring that stoicism into relationships and they use that as an excuse to repress their emotions.
Mm.
And that's not an excuse. You can't use that stoicism or whatever you learn and the nihilism to degrade and use that as an excuse why you treat people bad or something like that. That's not how that works. You know what I'm saying?
But what is nihilism?
Nihilism. I can't explain it well, but I can look up like I know what it means in my own head, but
I know I've heard it, and I know stoicism is like you're the sculptor and the sculpted at the same time.
nah, stoicism is just
Or wait,
stoicism. Just think of it as pretending in a negative light, pretending to be this all-knowing, stuck-up person who doesn't have any issues.
oh, see, I didn't know that.
You're trying to be stoic. You're trying to like help everyone and pretend like you have like all the answers when you don't. And it's yeah, it's not showing up. My phone is acting up.
Nihilism.
Yeah. But while he's looking that up, I hate when people do that.
Hmm.
I hate people like when people do that because I think it's really important to express ourselves. I do think it's really important for people to express themselves. I don't think everyone should have equal representation. In their thoughts themselves. So like, even if someone talks about literally the same exact thing, bro, people be talking about love. Some guy, just came out of psychology class for a semester and he started talking about love, and it's talking about the same things that people have been talking about for years. And I'm like, well, they're all gonna have a different perspective though. Is it not?
There's two sides to every story.
Exactly. Is it not important to like see where they come from, see how their personal experiences mold their responses or their point of view, how they cater.
So nihilism is a psychological view that rejects the validity of fundamental aspects of human existence, such as morality, knowledge, or meaning. So basically, the belief that all values are baseless and that nothing can be known or communicated.
Oh yeah, it's basically. Have you ever like talked to a person where like there's no meaning to life? Like everything I do, we're just little specks in the universe.
Like this conversation doesn't even matter.
Exactly. That's what
That's
it is.
nihilism. I didn't know that. That's such a negative.
Yeah, I like the way they said that. They said extreme pessimism. That's an easy way to look at it.
Extreme pessimism.
Yeah, pessimism.
Yeah.
Let's literally just extreme pessimism. Literally viewing everything as a bad thing. Looking at everything from how it affects you in a negative way. Like you never think about how it may affect someone else and etc.
I've heard in a song a long time ago, maybe like middle school, I heard this song from this guy, and he said like all of his music was sad, right? And in one of his songs, he had said something about people call me pessimistic, but in my mind I'm being realistic. So basically what he's saying is like there's nothing good about life. Like there's something bad that's always going to happen. So I'm just being realistic. I'm not even being pessimistic about these things. It's going to happen. So like, but I mean like, shoot, life is beautiful. You just choose to look at the bad things. You watch the news is going to be talking about the bad stuff. You choose to take that in. You choose to apply that to yourself. It's a choice. Everything in life is a choice. And you choose to see the bad things in life. So you're going to have that pessimistic mindset. And you're going to have that belief that, pessimism is realism. When in reality, I guess in a way, optimism and pessimism go hand in hand. Because, I mean, we live in an evil world. That's like, if we're being completely honest, we live in an evil world. But there's beauty in chaos. And there's no beauty without chaos. There's no beauty without ugliness. There's no good without bad. So being pessimistic is not being realistic. Being realistic is accepting both pessimism and optimism. The bad side of things, but there's always going to be a good side of things.
I just remember or I just thought something like back to if you go to like whether you're Christian or not, or you worship Christ or whatever, in the story of the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve, Satan or the devil, however you want to say it, was characterized as a snake, a serpent, and that serpent, had convinced Eve to eat that apple. And I believe, well, no, actually, no, it was true because in the Bible it says that when they were describing what happened when Eve ate that apple, Adam was in fact standing next to her. It's people say, "Oh no, he was off somewhere else in the garden." No, he was next to her while she ate that apple, watching it happen. So I say obviously again, like if it's not firmly said in the Bible, I mean again it's up to speculation and however, but I'm like if Eve didn't eat that apple, I think Adam would have anyway.
Um,
Um,
yeah, I seen a video somewhere where it said like, I mean, shoot, it's God's plan, right? So God knew that Eve was gonna bite that apple. So even if Eve didn't bite it, Adam was going to. Because I mean, he was next to her when it happened. So, you know, Satan was going to convince Adam at some point. And Cain was eventually, oh, was it Abel that killed Cain? No, Cain killed Abel. That was eventually gonna happen. And we were all eventually bound to sin. It was all part of God's plan. We wouldn't want and I hate for it to, I wouldn't hate for it, like, I didn't mean for it to turn religious, but we wouldn't we wouldn't feel the need to, strive for the love of God if we furthered from it in the first place. You won't understand what good is if you never dealt with bad in the first place.
that's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
That's what I was getting at. How there wasn't literally there. If sin was never a thing, there would be no good and bad. There would be no definition of good. There would be no definition of bad because it would be the norm. It would be just what happened. It would just be what is.
How you gonna say good Lord?
Exactly. If you didn't know what a bad Lord was,
Mm.
if there's nothing to compare it to, the other, if there is no bad, the meaning of good becomes completely. It cancels out. It becomes there's a word for it. Essentially, there is no meaning to good because there is no bad. There has to be something to compare it to.
Right.
Um. So yeah. Um. There's no good without bad. There's no nice without mean. You know what I'm saying? And if if there's no mean, if there's no nice, then it just becomes what is.
And people say ignorance is bliss, right? But I mean, yeah, sure, that's true. But at the same time, if you're too ignorant, you choose not to know things, then you're only gonna see that one thing. Again, like you can't have good without bad. If you only ever see good things, how do you know what bad things are? If you only ever see what bad things are, you're gonna call those bad things good. But the people that have seen both sides of the story, they're gonna know that that's bad. It's like people who live that hood lifestyle, right? And they think that killing that other person is a good thing because they're protecting themselves or whatever. But I mean, you're not meant to kill people. That's not a good thing to kill people. But you think it's good because that's all you know.
Mm-hmm. Our ancestors did not kill. They killed animals because that is what God gave to us. He gave us animals and for us to eat them. That was the whole purpose, for us to feed ourselves. Um, but we were never meant to kill our own kind. We were never meant to kill humans. That was something. That was something that came from the human condition. Sin. That was something that grew out of that. That was never a trait that we were put into the world with. Yeah. So if you look back to our ancestors, our Native Americans, they did not kill their own kind unless one they committed a crime, a terrible crime. Uh, um, if you look back at, 'cause I've been reading slightly into like Navajo history, but anyways, they believe in like an eye for an eye type thing.
Mm.
Um, they also were very forgiving. That's just the point. I'm not gonna get into that. But
I mean, no, I see where they're coming from, because like God put us on the earth to love each other and build relationship with each other and with Him, right? He never put us on the earth to kill each other, and that the whole idea to kill each other stems from, at least according to the Bible, it stems from um envy, jealousy, and all that stuff. And I mean, shoot, if you really think about it, that's all anybody really does kill in the first place. Because, I mean, people rob banks because they're envious or they're jealous that they don't have that money for themselves. That's selfishness. So, at the end of the day, that having that jealousy mindset, that envious mindset, isn't healthy, because it's killing yourself internally, and could eventually end up killing, or end up to killing somebody else. That's also where depression would stem from too. If you think about
that was
it,
an aura. I'm sorry.
no,
That was an aura. So when it started blowing,
hold on, that's another word. That's another word. You wouldn't be saying that word. Bro.
no, I'm not gonna lie, because when people started first saying it, I thought it was cringe. I
Me
started saying
too,
it,
bro. Now you say it all the time.
Exactly, brother. I was like, that's aura, bro. I don't think I'm ever gonna stop saying that because they genuinely had fun to me. It's not a bad word. Like nothing bad comes from saying that's aura, or you lost aura. You lost, bro. Like that's aura. That's just another saying like that was cool. That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
And
Okay. Alright. Well, I mean, shoot.
I also can throw this out there to you. It's up to you. I mean, you can hang here, what else? You can go and let the dog out and let them eat and poop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then come back and we'll take you back in the morning. But that's up to you.
Oh, okay.
I'm throwing that on you.
All right.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Cause like this weather, bro. Cause we have to take you back like now. Like after we leave, we want to take you back.
Yeah.
We wait because again, like remember how I was saying earlier? I was saying like my parents are cool with you. Like you can stay here for hours. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like they cool with you, bro. But like, yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess to end the video off,
I feel like that's a
my
good way.
oralicious,
Alright, so anyway,
my Somalian forehead, my Somalian, but it's my hat by the way. He stole it. So whatever.
okay, that's besides the point. But that's a good way to end off the video. And anything you want to say?
Stay humble. Humble yourself always. Speaking of humble, next video, humility. Next video, humility. It's very important, right? Humility is very important. He's not agreeing with it, but hey,
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. But it's in the works already. So
you right?
Yeah.
It's crazy. See, humility, man, it's crazy. So, but yeah, always stay humble. Don't laugh at anything that you know you would do yourself. Like if you see someone falling, hey man, you can fall too, bro. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, there is nothing wrong with laughing at it, but again, making fun of people for it, turning it into something negative instead of something lighthearted, it's a no go. You know, if I see him fall, I'm gonna laugh, but at the end of the day, I'm still concerned. I'm gonna be like, hey, is he good? Like, yeah, it was funny, but like, are you good? You okay? You know what I'm saying? I remember, but we were at the park one time, and he was trying to be cool, and he tried to jump through a hole in the fence. And then, when he jumped through, his head went boom. It was hilarious, and I asked him, I was like, hey, hey, you good? And he didn't say anything, but I kept laughing. But it was hilarious. It was lighthearted. It was a lighthearted interaction. I made nothing negative by it, and that's what you should strive for. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason to be making fun of someone for that. You know what I'm saying? Truly making fun of someone for that, because then again, the same thing can happen to you. Then when people are laughing at you about it, then you want to be the one who wants to get mad.
And bro, you're gonna take all my words. Can't even make the video no more.
Yeah, but at that, man, you know, that's all I gotta say.
Yep. That's all we gotta say.